Good morning, 5 days out. It is Monday, just getting some steps. So, last week, can't remember what vlog I posted, but I pulled out of the cut a few days earlier than anticipated. I wanted to pull out of the cut on Friday, but fatigue was just getting overwhelming. So I decided to start it on Thursday. So started increasing calories on Thursday, dropping steps, pulled out cardio completely, along with the cutting drugs that I was using. And sure enough, I dropped like 8 pounds in 5 days. So I went from like 192 all the way down to 185. I weighed 185 on Sunday, and I've been increasing carbs and just overall food from Thursday. So Thursday increased food, Friday increased even more food, Saturday more food. So it was like 2,000 calories, 2,400, 2,700, and then yesterday I finished out the day with 3,200. No training at all, no cardio, just getting steps and dropping weight, which is really cool to see. That just shows just how much fatigue and stress plays into like water retention and weight. So yes, so the foods I was using over the last few days were more filling foods. So potato, I kept my veggies in. Protein is still high. And yesterday, Sunday, I thought I found like the upper cap of how much food I should be increasing. But turns out this morning I woke up, I'm 1.5 pounds up, it's about 187, but this is the driest that I've ever looked. My legs are no longer washed out. Well, they're still a little washed out, but like glute striations just keep coming in, veins on my abs are coming back. I just keep getting drier and drier. So today we're gonna make another increase in food. Today I actually start peak training, which I'll walk through that with you guys. But we're just gonna keep increasing food until I spill over and I'm watery, so I don't know when that'll happen. But we'll just keep increasing food. I am definitely under my weight cap, so I no longer have to worry about trying to make weight, which I'm really happy about. Energy is coming back. Sleep is slowly improving. Legs are not as fatigued. They're still kind of rough, but they're getting better. So I'm very optimistic. Last week was, I'm not gonna lie, last week was the hardest week I've ever had. I just had like this impending sense of doom from just everything. So mentally, it was kind of a rough week, but I feel good now. It's amazing what food does. So anyway, today we will train legs. Tomorrow we will train push. Wednesday we will train pull, and Thursday we will do full body. Friday we'll completely rest. Saturday we'll completely rest. The program is actually pretty simple. I'll be using the same exercises that I've used this entire macro cycle. Only 2 sets per exercise, 10 to 15 reps, like 4 RIR, just getting blood into the muscle and just helping with shuttling nutrients into the muscle. My legs though, I'm only doing leg extensions, leg curls, calf raises, 2 sets, 20 reps, just a fast eccentric, no pauses. So that'll go down today. But like this is as good as it's gonna get. The cutting is over. I've prepped as hard as I could, and so now it's just time to bring it home. I've already started mapping out my 2-year plan of what I want to do after this, which I'm really excited about. I'm more excited about getting into a productive off season and seeing how lean I can stay and how big I can get. So there's a series of videos that I'll be coming out with. It'll be a little more like higher quality, higher production, where I'll walk through all the mistakes that I made during this prep, what I should have done differently, what I learned. I'll do a whole deep dive into what the next phase is, what my plans are. Posed with my posing coach yesterday. That's another thing too. I'm just gonna keep posing every day through this week. Posing is just looking really solid. I've been doing conditioning rounds, so holding poses for 45 seconds at a time so I'm not gonna be exhausted when I'm up there on stage. This prep has made me reflect on a lot of things that I wanna do differently, not just from fitness, but from my life. I've neglected my relationships with my son and my wife, so I really wanna rekindle that, rebuild those relationships. So my wife and I talked about some of the things we wanna do. Like, we wanna do date nights again. I wanna do like a father-son date with my son every week. Just really wanna prioritize my relationships again. And you know, as an entrepreneur, I have a nasty habit of just working, just work all through the day. So from like 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. I'm just working, and that's not productive, but it's also it's not kind of a balance that I want. And the quality of work that comes out of working 12 hours a day is not, it's very, very low quality. So I want to get back to like the 8-8-8 rule, which the Finnish and the Scandinavians, like those Norwegian northern cultures, they follow this 8-8-8 rule for the day. So you have 24 hours in a day. You have 8 hours for sleep, 8 hours for work, 8 hours for play, and they take that very seriously. So I would love to establish that in my life. So I want to reschedule. I want to remap out my priorities for the business, so I can bring back in 8 hours of play, which I don't think I've ever had in my entire life. I can't even fathom what 8 hours of play would look like. But like, if I think about it, if I start working at 5 a.m. and I work for 8 hours straight, I could be done by 1 p.m. Have a couple breaks in between, I could be done by 2 or 3, and then just play for the rest of the day. And by play, I mean like spending time with family, working out, just relaxing, really. I would love to figure out how to do that. I wanna get back to getting more grounded. I wanna stop being so attached to electronics. I want less electronics. I wanna be more disconnected from my phone. I wanna set stronger, harder boundaries with work. There's just like there's a lot I wanna do. And when you're walking hours a day and doing cardio, and you're kind of in this super starved state, you can't help but be a little cathartic and introspective. So these are some of the thoughts that I've had. I'm grateful for this prep for several reasons, but I think one of them was waking up and realizing my life is very short, and I've been kind of wasting it, and I want to change that. All right, that's that. Finish getting some steps here, do a little more work. I'll go eat my first meal and get some carbs in. See you in the next one.